Hey guys, Brianna Houts here with the Lee County Extension Office. I'm so excited to be back in your classroom on this beautiful warm March day. Can we believe it? We're in March already and it's beautiful out. I love it. The weather is getting warmer. There's so many things. We can be outside much more, playing and working around and doing things, which kind of leads into what we will talk about today for our Pick a Better Snack. But first, I wanted to get into what we talked about last month. Can anybody remember or tell me what we talked about last month? Yes, very good. We talked about the different ways of preserving food, whether it be by can or in freezing or in canning them, making them into a jar, things like that. So yeah, very good. I hope you guys enjoyed your apples, the real apples that are like a regular apple that you would get and eat off of the real apple. And I hope you guys enjoyed the freeze-dried apples. I had never really tried them before. We did a taste test with one of our programs that we do here for 4-H, and I was like excited about how great they tasted. They really tasted like an apple, which was amazing. Like all that flavor, the crunchiness, it was amazing. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that. And then we're able to go home and talk about that or share that with your family and friends, because I was surprised at how well they tasted. All right, so as we get started, as I talked about, today we're going to talk about different things that corresponds with the beautiful weather out. I mean, there's lots of things that we can do while we're outside. We can play, we can plant a garden, we can play with animals, we can, play on the playground. We can do lots of things outside. I even just love sitting outside in this weather, just enjoying it and taking it in, or taking a walk, getting out and getting exercise. That's always great, as well as there are lots of outside sports that are starting to kick off and you guys are able to start doing that again. But I have a question for you. I want to know, and you can think about this in your head, and then when I say, what is it? You guys can all blurt out what you're thinking in your head, but for now, I want you to think about it in your head. Who is someone that makes lunch for you? Like, my mom. She still occasionally will make lunch and send it with me to work when I see her. She makes a great lunch. I love having her food. Even some of my coworkers, they like having her food as well too. So, but think about it in your head. Who makes lunch for you? It can be a grandparent, a parent, a brother or sister. It can even be the lunch ladies in the lunchroom. There's lots of different places. Now, I am going to say a magic word. I'm going to say seeds. And when I say seeds, I want you guys to say out loud, who is that person? All right? Are you ready? Seeds. Whoa! Yes, there are lots of people out there who help make our lunches for us. And that is awesome. Like I said, we've got our parents, our grandparents, maybe a brother or sister likes to help do our lunch. We have the lunch ladies out there. Hey, sometimes even our teachers help make our lunches. We never know. So, but there are lots of people out there who work hard for us to get that. But there is also another thing that can help us make our lunch. That is dirt. Now, think about it. Think in your head, how does dirt make my lunch? All right. Yes. Pretty much everything in our lunch comes from dirt. Now, let's use tacos, for example. How do taco ingredients come from dirt? Can you think of some? Tacos can include the taco shell. It can include meat, cheese, lettuce, tomato, sour cream, salsa. Lots of things can go on our tacos if we really think about it. But we've talked about this a little bit before. Can you remember back a couple times when we talked about gardening and how our food comes from that? Yes, very good. For sure. We have what we plant as gardens, and especially on a beautiful day like today, I would love to be outside in my garden, getting ready, getting the soil moved and ready to be planted, and then getting my hands in that dirt to be able to plant those plants and seeds and all of that good stuff. So if you think about it, our tortilla shells are made of wheat or flour, which all come from the wheat, which is grown in the ground. Our meat comes from different animals that eat the grass that grows in the ground. Our cheese comes from milk and cows, which eat the grass from the ground, or the hay or the corn or whatever they get fed. We also have our lettuce, our tomatoes. Those all grow in the ground. Those are from our garden. We can grow lettuce. We can grow tomatoes. Let's see, our salsa is made of tomatoes and peppers and onions and all of those good things. And those are all made in the garden. There are lots of things. Pretty much everything comes from dirt. Dirt. All we need is dirt to get all of our food that we need. Pretty interesting, isn't it? And so as we get ready to talk about this, your taste test today is going to be a really fun one. This is a good recipe, a very simple recipe that I love, and I love this. And we're gonna call it seedy corn black bean salsa. What is seedy corn black bean salsa? Easy. A can of corn and a can of black beans. Where do they come from? Yes, they are grown in the dirt. Very good. Our corn, you have your sweet corn that we eat. And our black beans, those are grown from the dirt as well. We plant seeds and grow the plants, and then we pull off the black beans. Very good. Now, what do we need to know about the seeds we eat? So, if you were to make this recipe at home, there are different ways you can do it. You can get a can of corn. You can get fresh corn. You can get frozen corn. There's all different kinds of that you can put together. Now, if we're looking for fresh corn, which is always the best, right? Fresh is always the best. You look for corn on the cob that has a bright green husk, and which is the outer leaves, because sometimes they have the leaves over top of the corn and then we peel them or shuck them. They have to be evenly spaced plump kernels. And we can store the corn in the refrigerator with the husk or wrapped in plastic for 3 to 4 days. So if you get the already husk corn, sometimes Fairway or Hy-Vee will have those as well. You can store those already pre-husked as long as they're in saran wrap for up to 3 to 4 days. You then can look for canned corn or beans, and you want to look for reduced or no sodium to help. You also can use fresh dried beans, which you put in a pot, let them soak, then you cook them, and then they're the plump, nice beans that you see, usually that comes out of the can. If you do 1 cup of dried beans, that becomes 2 to 3 cups when it's cooked because it pulls in all that water and it makes it all plump and everything. Also, you want to rinse the beans under the cool water before cooking and eating. Now, because I'm doing the video, I have them in the cans right now, but when you guys get them, they will be already mixed together in a container like this. So your container will already have the black beans and the corn in it all together. So it's all good. But if we want to make this, when can we make it? You can make it year round if you want. If you want fresh, you can get fresh corn on the cob, usually from July to September. And then you can also get your beans about any time you want. If you want fresh ones, a lot of times that June, sometimes if people plant early, you can get them in June, up through about September-ish. If they put in a late crop, you can do that as well, as long as you get it before the frost. That's always the good one. So, why? Why do we eat our seeds? Why do we eat our corn and our beans? Well, corn provides an antioxidant lutein, which is good for our eyes. So, remember our super goggles? Yes, we have our super goggles. Super goggles for corn. It helps our eyes. It also provides fiber, which helps our tummy, our digestion, and B vitamins. Now, B vitamins is a new one for us. B vitamins help our body use the energy we get from food. So it helps us grow big and strong and also allows us to keep moving during the day so we don't get as tired. Now, beans, why do we eat beans? They're high in protein and fiber. Of course, fiber, good for our digestive system, and it's also good for our hearts. And the protein, it keeps us fuller longer. So there's lots of good things that we can do about this. But as we get ready for our taste test, we're going to enter the no yuck zone. So remember, don't yuck somebody else's yum. We want you to be nice and quiet about it. If you don't like it, we don't say yuck or gross or anything like that. What you guys will do is if you take a bite and you do not like it, please get up quietly without saying anything and you can go spit it in the trash can. And then you can get a drink and have a seat back at your desk. Now, what I want you to do is, what do we do first? What do we do first before we try? Yes, very good. We wash our hands, whether we use hand sanitizer or we go to the bathroom. That's good. So now, if your teacher wants to pause the video now so you guys can go get your hands washed. Awesome. All right. Welcome back. I hope we have our hands sanitized or washed, ready to go for our snack. Now, what you will have is you will have a little cup with just like you can use a spoonful of this out of this container that will have both your beans and your corn. And then you will also have a chip or two with it. So you guys will each have a chip or two ready to go in your thing. So you can either try it plain, or you can use the chip to take a dip and bite it and see if you like it that way. So I always like my salsa with some chips. It's always really good that way. So on the count of 3, we're going to use our senses, okay? And so what we'll use first is we'll use our eyes. So On the count of 3, what do you guys see when you look at your salsa? 1, 2, 3. Yes, you see black, you see yellow. They both look smooth and wet. Yeah, very good. Very good. There's all different kinds. Now, can you smell anything? It kind of smells a little sweet. Yeah, very good. Very good. All right. Now, how about, what do we feel? It's wet, smooth. Yeah, very good. Very good. Now, again, on the count of 3, you can have it on your chip, or you can just have a quick bite of it. You can put a little amount in your mouth if you would like from the cup, and we will taste it, but on the count of 3. And I want you to be thinking about what it tastes like, as well as what you hear when you bite into it. Now, it may sound a little different to if you use a chip with it or you don't use a chip with it. So you might have a different answer than the person beside you depending on how you eat it. Okay? So on the count of 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, great job. Yes, if you used a chip, what did you hear? If you used a chip with your salsa. Yeah, it was crunchy. You could hear the crunch. How about if you didn't use a chip? What did you hear? Yeah, you really didn't hear anything when you did it. Yeah, very good. You really didn't hear much about it as far as that goes. So if you used a chip, you heard a crunch. If you used nothing, if you didn't use a chip, then you might have heard really nothing at all. All right, what did it taste like? A sweet salty mixture. Yes, it tasted sweet and salty, kind of that difference between the corn and the beans. Yes, very good, very good. All right, so as we get back to our desk from if you had to spit it out or you're throwing it away, I want you to think about what you thought of it. Now, remember, this was, yes, I loved it. I want to have it again. I kind of liked it. I might try it again. Or no, I really didn't like it. But there's different ways. You can add stuff to this salsa if you didn't like it. So there's other ways to do it. But remember, you have to try it 7 times before you like it. So on the count of 3, let's hold up what we think it is. 1, 2, 3. Yes, very good. I love it. I see some of all, and that is very okay. That is okay. So what you guys can do is try it different ways. Remember, it takes 7 times to know if you're going to like something. So try them separate if you want, or try making it fresh at home if you want to. It's a very simple recipe. See if you like it that way, or trying some frozen, or adding a little different corn to it, or a different bean. You might like a different bean better. But remember, we're using it as seeds. We use seeds from the garden, and that is how we do that as well. So very good, very good. All right, so what I'm doing is we're going to do a quick little reflection of what are you going to do if you go home? When you go home, what are you going to tell your parents you talked about today? Yes, very good. How seeds or dirt help makes our lunch, as well as the seeds that are growing it, which are beans and corn, which we can put in the ground because these are seeds that we eat, that we plant to make food for us to eat. Yeah, and where can you buy it? Where can you buy these kinds of things? Yes, the grocery store. You can find them in the fresh produce aisle. You can find them in the canned, the dried, the frozen. You can find them in about every single section of the grocery stores. You can also buy them at the local food markets or farmers markets. They'll be starting those back up now that the weather's getting warmer. I think usually April or May those start up, so that's really exciting. We're excited to have that. Now, why is it important for us to have seeds or even eat seeds? Yes, very good. We definitely want to be able to do that. All right, well, I just want to thank you guys for being brave taste testers today and trying the black bean salsa that we had today. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope you take it home with your family and share that as well. And I will also be sending you home, I believe, a coloring page, a bingo card, and also a family newsletter. So you'll be taking those home as well, kind of talking about today and what we learned. And I hope you guys are bringing back your bingo cards because you guys will all get a fun little special prize if you have brought a bingo card back as well. So I hope you guys all enjoy that, and we will see you next month with our next Pick a Better Snack. It should be an interesting one. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.